Hi guys, and welcome to another Contact Us tutorial. Today we are going to examine and we're going to learn how to create an appointment field and add it to our form. We're also going to review appointment settings and appointment rules. Usually agreeing on a meeting takes a long time and it requires a lot of back and forth, but with the appointment field your risk of losing the lead goes down. In other words, your probabilities of that lead turning into customer go up, and you save a lot of time. So we're going to create a form. This is going to be a new normal form, and we're going to call it the appointments request form, or appointments example form. It's always good to name your forms because in the future you can have so many, you're going to need something to remember what that form was or where that form is located. So always try to be descriptive in the names you give to your forms. Now, as you can see, we have general settings, and within the general settings there is the appointments module toggle. So we're going to turn this on. We're going to save and publish. We're going to wait for the save and publish confirmation box. You can hide them as you click on them. And now we're going to go to our calendar area. We have two appointment-related configuration panels. The first one is called the appointment rules. When you create a new appointment rule, you can choose what service type you want to associate with that appointment rule. Now, if you don't have appointment services, then the first thing you need to do is go to your appointment service area, which is in the appointment settings. Now, there is one default service type. What is a service type? This is a kind of appointment. Let's say that in my profession I need to meet with people for at least 3 hours. So we're going to call this the 3-hour meeting. We're going to describe this as initial assessment meeting. You can add any description you want, and the meeting is going to last, well, 3 hours. So this is a new appointment service called the 3-hour meeting. Now we're going to add another one called the 1-hour meeting. And we're going to call it the follow-up meeting. And this is going to be, well, an hour. So we've created two appointment service types. We're going to review some of the other settings that we have. The first one is, would you like appointment requests to be automatically approved, or would you like to approve each appointment? I would like to approve each appointment. So I leave that as is. Then we have how far in the future should we allow appointments to be requested. 3 months sounds like a safe assessment, but obviously that really depends on what you prefer. Now the other two options are, do you want to see when you're free according to your appointment rules? Yes, definitely. I'd like for my leads to see when I'm available and when I'm not, so I don't get any conflicting appointment requests, so we minimize frustration. So absolutely. And who should receive the iCalendar files? Both me and the leads is what I always prefer to choose. So we've already added the appointments. Everything else is as is. The default settings are the best options, and we're going to go back to our appointment rules. Now, what does this mean? This means this is going to tell the calendar form what days I will be available for these service types. So for the 1-hour service type, or for the 3-hour meeting, we want these to happen on the morning because I'd like to have my long meetings in the morning. So, and it's going to be a weekly thing because we're going to repeat this pattern through every week. And I'm going to be available on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I don't like Fridays. Actually, I prefer to have long meetings on these days. I am going to say that I'd like this to be happening between 9 a.m. and, let's say, 3 p.m. We could set a range for how long this rule lifetime will apply. For example, if you're thinking that this will change as seasons change, perhaps your schedule will vary if it's winter or if it's summer, then you can just say, well, I want this to happen starting now all the way till August. So we save this, and we've already created the appointment rule for our 3-hour meeting. Now we're going to create a new rule for the 1-hour meeting. This is also going to be something that repeats each week, and it's going to happen on the days I had not chosen before. Obviously, this is just for explaining. There is no business logic better than any other. The important thing is that you know that you can choose repetitive weekly patterns. And I want these to happen, again, also between 1 and 4 p.m. Yes. And I won't have any lifetime rule for this one, so this is going to always work. Now all we need to do is check out the form and see if it works. So we're going to go into our forms, we're going to get live form link, and we're going to check it out. As we arrive to the live form, you're going to see the 3 service types or types of appointment that we have configured. The first one is a default. This is happening in every account. The 3-hour meeting is one that we created, and it's a custom service type. And the 1-hour meeting is the second example of a custom service type. As you can see, this is set up so it adapts to your schedule, to your way of doing business. You can put your own logo here. You can define what tab is shown first, and once people choose the kind of appointment they want to schedule with you, then you will see the options. If you remember, my options were from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the 3-hour meetings, and that means that I can either set one at 9, which would give me one meeting, because it's going to be a 3-hour meeting, 9, 10, 11, and then we have the 12 p.m. option, which is going to help me set a meeting that will end at 3 p.m., which was the top limit of our 3-hour meeting time range when we configured that kind of service type. So I'm going to have one at 9 a.m. and then continue filling out the form, and this is the experience that you want your user to have as well. As you can see, your leads can read when this meeting is scheduled, including the time zone for this meeting. So once this is done, we send the message. You're going to get the usual contact us response thanking people, and voila, you're done. This is the way your leads are going to try to schedule a meeting with you. Now, what happens on your side? How do you know, and how are you going to manage appointment requests? Remember, the dashboard contains most of the basic information you need to know to get a bird's eye view or a big picture glimpse of what's happening. So you have your latest leads here. Obviously, all these are example leads. You have your statistics here, and you have your lead management notification panel. Now this is divided into inbound calls, new inquiries, new appointments, and new reminders. Now when you click on the new appointments section, you're going to see the latest appointment requests. As you remember, we submitted one for March 10th at 12 p.m. So I will approve. Once I've approved this, it's going to show up in my calendar. So if we navigate to March 10th, I will have a 3-hour meeting booked here. This will also be reflected if I had put a real email, then I would have gotten a calendar invite that would have been compatible with most online calendars, particularly iCalendar, Google Calendar, and Outlook Calendar. So there you go. I hope this was helpful, and if you need more help setting up your appointment form, please send us a support request via our help desk at help.contactus.com.